Live at home with my Nonna. Anybody here ever live with their grandmother for a period of time? Sweet, nice. Yeah, I've lived with her for about ever. She's great. We always get into fights, though. She's about 88 years old, and here's the thing. Give you guys a visual before I get into this. My Nonna is exactly, because I take her to her physicals, okay? She's exactly 4'11", 392 pounds, which means she is an exercise ball with an apron on it, right? She is a perfect sphere, right? She's kind of has like sitting skirts and standing skirts. You know what I mean? Where the whole bottom half is a sphere that kind of wraps around, right? She's got that going on. Adorable, love her to death, but those are just her looks, like BB-8 from the new Star Wars, right? That's how she looks, and we always get into fights. And the biggest fight we ever got into went exactly like this. I walked into the house, and she's like, Marc, before you come downstairs, can you get to Nonna's purse? I'm like, no problem. Got the purse, right? You got bad knees, grandson of the year, inheritance, you know what I mean? So then I, right? So I went to get the purse, and I noticed that the purse was open, right? And that was a red flag for me. I was like, I'm not sure what's going on here, because sticking out of the purse was a pepper spray. And I was like, not sure what that's about, right? So I asked her, I was like, hey, Nonna, question. What's going on there? She's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, why do you carry around pepper spray? Swear to God. She goes, well, Nonna carried around a pepper spray just in case of somebody wanted to take in my purse. I was like, right. And where do you keep your pepper spray? She's like, in my purse. And I'm like, you haven't played this out at all, have you? She's like, why? What's the problem? I'm like, what are you going to do when this guy takes your purse and runs down the street? You're going to be like, sir, I know it's stupid, but my pepper spray, it's in the bag. Like, can you pass it to me so I can spray you in the face? Like, that's not going to work, you know? She's like, well, some people don't want to just take my purse. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Swear on my life, I couldn't write this shit if you paid me, okay? My Nonna goes, well, some people don't want to take my purse. There's some people out there, they're crazy. Some people, they come to me, they want to make the sex. I'm going to do that gesture again. For those of you who missed it, because this is 100% facts. And it kind of blew me away, because no grandmother's done that to me before. I don't know about you, right? And I was like, I'm sorry, what did you say? She's like, some people want to make it the sex. And I'm like, what are you doing? What is this? She's like, well, this is where the sex is. I'm like, I know where the sex is. She's like, are you sure you're almost 30? I'm like, listen. She's like, well, you live in the basement. I'm like, you shut the hell up, okay? And I'm like, I don't understand. I know where it is, but like, why are you serving it? Do you know what I mean? I'm like, what is this, like, vagina pizzas? Like, you're like, you want a sex? Everybody gets the same sex. You get the sex. These, like, you know what I mean? I'm like, these nonnas are so giving. I'm like, what are you doing? You know? Right? So I had to explain it to her, right? I'm like, in this situation, which I hope none of you ever are in with your grandmother, where you have to explain to her that she's not in the sexual predator scope anymore, right? I was like, no. Like, you're not, you're 88. Like, I'm not sure if they're after you anymore. Like, you're not in the sexual predator radar. And she's like, why, you don't think I'm sexy anymore? I'm like, what? She's like, you don't think a nonna's pretty anymore? I'm like, anymore? What? I'm like, why do you say anymore? As if, like, back in grade 6, I'd be like, guys, you got to get off of my bus stop. You see my nonna right there with the fur coat? The things I would do. Like, that's insane, right? That's weird, So I had to explain it to her in a way she would understand, right? She worked at a grocery store for like 50 years, and she worked the produce department, right? So I was like, no, picture this, right? People are like grapes. Everybody loves grapes. But over time, grapes turn into raisins. And not everybody likes raisins. It's just a preference. She snaps. She's like, no. Every grape should be wine, and never mind raisins. I was like, that's exactly what I'm saying, right? That's exactly what I'm saying. She's like, no, that word you're saying, exactly. What does that mean? I'm like, no, I am a grape. You are a raisin. She's like, no, you are the son of a gun. And she sprays me with this pepper spray, guys. I swear to God, it is homemade. It is just a Windex bottle with just vinegar and pepper in it. I swear on my life, she has a label on it with her label maker. It says Nonna's pepper a spray, like in the accent, you know what I mean? She's got it on mist. It's filling the whole kitchen up. It's running down my face. I'm licking my lips. I'm like, this is almost the best salad dressing I've had in my life. You know what I mean? Now I bring it to work and I spray my salads and shit, so it's going good.